I have a lot of people who always ask me, like, how do I get into healing? Not just healing with energy, but like healing the world. How do you get into that? I want to be on a spiritual team. I want to get things done. I want to help. And my answer has always been, guys, you're doing it already. But I know that that's not enough. Like when I'm out there, I'm working with all of you because all of the oversouls are split into like 15 to 30 to 48, however many vessels. Mine's in 48. And that's not including my twin flame, who's in another 48, and then another. Mine's complicated. But I'm not the only one with a complicated split, just saying mine is. But I understand that that's not enough. You guys want to, in your physical being, be consciously aware of it and healing. And I think that's beautiful. And I finally have figured out exactly how to help you learn how to do that. Biggest thing for me always is understanding exactly what a situation in your life comes up, what it means to you in your physical and in your spiritual being. I wish that this was like an easier process, but unfortunately I'm going to have to break it down into everything that I do to make myself aware of and working on what I'm working on. So when I'm talking about the things in your physical world matching your emotions, if you're dealing with plumbing issues at your house, you're probably dealing with stopped up emotions. I'm serious. Being in tune with the universe and the messages it's giving to you is paramount for being aware enough to do the work that you need to do. The next thing that I suggest is, looking into what animals mean when they come into your awareness. If something is drawing your attention, like a cardinal or a fox or a crow, what does that mean to you? Look up the spiritual meaning of it. Try to see those messages. Same with angel numbers. What's the message for you? Next thing is to get into a place where you're not finger pointing. If you feel some type of way about a situation, you don't look to see what the other person has done to you. You look to see why it's emotionally making you feel some type of way. Where does that trauma come from? So someone cuts me off in traffic, right? If it makes me upset, why does it make me upset? Was it because of the anxiety? Was it because of the jump? Was it because of my parents? Was it because of my siblings? Where is that anxiety? Where is that anger stemming from? Once you're able to recognize that the world isn't happening to you, but your emotions and interactions are coming from inside, that will really help gauge how you respond to things and lead you in the proper direction of where you need to go. This helps with inner child trauma healing and past life healing. Next thing I recommend is learning how to have proper boundaries, not just in your physical world, but in your spiritual world as well. Learn about shielding. What does shielding mean? There's a simple phrase that I've learned to use, which is, please activate my divine shielding. And please activate my divine guardians. That shielding is made just for me. Those guardians are made just for me. It really takes the guesswork out of things because honestly, guys, the spiritual work is really, really simple. It's so simple that it seems complicated because they have programmed you and me and everyone to believe that it has to be some mystical thing. And it doesn't have to be. Everything holds a key. Everything has a purpose. Everything is with meaning. You just have to learn how to look at it simply. And then you're able to do so much more. There's a good balance of ego as well. And in the spiritual community, you'll hear a lot of people say there needs to be a death of ego. That's simply not true. You need to have every part of you have a voice at the table. Every part of you needs to be heard. Okay? It's okay to be proud of the work that you're doing. It's okay, especially because most of the empaths grew up with low self-worth, low self-esteem, trauma, lots of trauma. Everybody deals with trauma, okay? That's the other part of this that you need to understand. Every single person on this planet, whether it's a Karen or a Brad or a Bethany or a Susan, they all have trauma. And your trauma is not bigger or better than theirs. But if you do a lot of work to heal your trauma, you can be proud of it. And don't let them say that. understanding your mechanisms, your mechanics, your human body and your energy body. That's actually pretty important. Like the chakra system, there's way more than 7, but understanding those 7 really help, because then you can know by your emotions and your actions and your thought process what is out of whack, why it's out of whack, and be able to fix it for yourself. There are lots of tools out there to help you with this. A lot of people use crystals, books, music, meditations to align themselves where they feel like they need to be. In fact, the more tools, the better. I don't use a lot of tools, but I worked really hard. I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours and years and years and years understanding all of this stuff, working on my traumas, healing things inside myself, figuring things out, figuring out what works and figuring out what doesn't. Go with what you're guided to go. You started to understand your mechanics and how your body works and how your emotions work and how your energy works. Get you to a point where if something comes up and there's a pattern and this person's making you feel like this and this person's making you feel like this and this person's making you feel like this, you can go, hey, there is a pattern. Where is the root of this issue? I can look inside myself because I know that these emotions are not something that is a reoccurring thing for me. It's something that's a little bit more foreign. And then I can say, okay, there's an issue here that I need to heal. Maybe it's a past life. Maybe it's inner child. Where does this stem from? And once you figure that out, then you literally ask Spirit to show you the root life connected to that issue. And then you walk through the healing phrases and steps in order to push that energy forward into your present moment. And then those things that were bothering you no longer bother you. It's not a coping mechanism. You actually heal the root to make it so it doesn't bother you anymore. You get to the point where you're trusting the work that you're doing, you're seeing the results in your life, you're becoming a completely different person, that's when you start really trusting yourself enough to heal the planet. Because frankly, if you don't believe that it's working for you, then it will not show up. There is one thing from biblical text that I really, truly apply to my life. With the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. I have seen myself move mountains in my life, so I know that I can move mountains in the world out there. And when I say move mountains, I literally mean stop volcanic action, stop earthquakes, stop hurricanes. I'm not even kidding. Really, literally move mountains. But you have to have faith. If you don't have faith, you're not going to be able to do shit. Faith in yourself is the most important part, and that's why we're on this video now when I've already made so many videos before to get to this point. By now, you have discovered more of your spiritual gifts, you've discovered what's in your energetic spiritual toolbox, you've discovered more about yourself and how you operate and how the mechanics operate. You can look at the signs, look at the meanings, go, oh, this means this. What's this coming up for? This means this. You are able to look around at what the world is telling you with confidence and ease. And then, if you are someone who channels messages, you can look at the channeled message that comes through or the prophetic dream and go, Spirit, what do I need to do to change this event from happening? They show you what to do, you do it, you walk away, and it's done. If you're not a channeler, you look and see on TikTok, that's what I do. If something comes up and it's like a world event that needs assistance or someone's channeled a message, I go, Spirit, what can we do about this? And then I do it, and then it changes. First step is always the hardest of anything you do. If you're trying to quit smoking, if you're trying to lose weight, the first step is always the most difficult because you're riddled with guilt and shame. Once you take those first couple of steps and you really start healing yourself, that's when you're able to start healing the planet, because it really is a raindrop. It starts here and it ripples outward. My entire page is filled with phrases and tips on how to get in touch with yourself. My entire page is dedicated to helping you. In fact, if you look through my page, you would see that one of my sessions that I offer, everything that I do in my session, it's on my page. Every bit of it is. I asked my friend why people don't do the stuff that's on my TikToks. Why aren't they doing them? Some people are, but why aren't most? And she channeled it, and it literally is that you guys don't think I'm talking to you. I am talking to you. You. Literally the only difference between me and you is I believe that I can, I've remembered that I can, and I'm fucking doing it. You can do everything that I do. I talk about it all the time. You can do everything that I do. But just like everything else in the world, you want to be a great musician, you got to practice. You want to be a great athlete, you got to practice. You want to do the things that help heal the world, you got to put the fucking work in. You got to work on yourself first. If you don't work on yourself, you're not going to be able to run the marathon. You're not. Does that make sense? Every single one of us is capable if we put the work in and make it happen. That's why I'm so confident when I talk about stuff. It's not ego. It's literally I have put the work in and I fucking know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've seen it in action. And you can do this. Every one of you can.